Hi, I'm Neferteri Plessy. I am the founder and executive director of Single Moms Planet.
What inspired you to create Single Moms Planet?
What inspired me to create Single Moms Planet is I'm raised by a single mom. She did it 100% by herself. And I could not understand how she did it, especially this didn't click in until I actually had my two children. I got married. We had two boys, and I was blown away at what it took to show up as a mother and what it also took to show up for myself inside of that space, right? It's almost like you can kind of get lost inside of that rhythm. And when I got divorced, we got divorced, and I was still, co-parenting, having a consistent male figure, father figure for my boys. And that's when it really kicked in for me that what my mom had done all those years, and then also too what other women that I experienced in my community had done, I just was like something needs to be done about it. Someone needs to have a voice around this because I really don't think that the media was depicting a story, especially at that time, that wasn't what I was seeing in the single mother space. I saw a lot of women that were successful, that
Mhm.
were educated, that were taking care of themselves, their children, they looked good. They were mentally strong. And I wanted to shift the narrative of what, when people heard the term single mom, that it would bring something that was more positive and enlightening.
Yeah. Uh, what was your journey to creating a nonprofit?
Oh, my journey to creating a nonprofit was confusion and tears. I, I had worked in the corporate space for many years and had done a lot of things around in the entertainment world. And then when I got into the nonprofit space, it really was a day to day, minute to minute learning curve, right? And right as you hit the curve, it was another curve. And when you hit that curve, you're on a circle. And I really didn't necessarily know what I was doing at that time. At that time, I had a vision, I had a mission, I had passion, and I knew how to get the support of people around me who also wanted to see this collective of single mothers succeed and be successful. And so a lot of it was just bootstrapping and, sometimes using my own personal income, raising money in the community, asking people for support, then learning how to partner with corporations who also wanted to support this demographic of women and families. So it was, a little bit of, you get thrown in the water, right? Or you get pushed in, or you jump in on your own, thinking that you know how to swim, but you really needed to know how to do the backstroke, snorkel. You know how to scuba dive. I didn't know I needed all of these things, but I'm really been blessed because I have a heart that loves to learn, and I'm inquisitive, and I love asking questions. And so, it definitely was a good fit for someone like myself.
So, can you tell me a little bit about Single Moms Planet?
Yes. So, Single Moms Planet is a 501(c)(3) nonprofit organization. We were founded in 2016, and our main core focus is financial literacy. We also focus on business development and helping mothers that are either in the corporate space who want to climb the corporate ladder or get more into the managerial side of their businesses, or companies that they also are a part of. And then we also work with mothers who are in the entrepreneurial space who want to expand their companies, sell their companies, grow their businesses, who have ideas or concepts that they don't know how to launch, they don't know how to get out there. And so those are our two core main focus areas. We also help moms package their businesses so that they can get business loans, and they can also get business grants. And so we help them make sure that their business is packaged properly, first of all, starting off with their personal life, right? So the first thing that people typically do when they look at your business is they want to see, well, who's behind it, who's running it, who's the person leading the charge, type of thing. So we want to make sure that everything is ironed out, and you show up really strong for yourself. We also work with our children quite a bit. So we do a lot of interactive I would call them interactive experiences for the mother and the child to have together. We do that through the Boy Scouts of America. We've been working with them for over 7 years now, helping the children learn new activities, archery, kayaking, rowboating, snorkeling, sailing, teaching the children how to do really amazing things that maybe their mother would not have access to on their own, and taking the children camping every year. So those are part of the activities that we do between the mother and the child.
How does, taking care of your finances help your mental health?
Oh my goodness. Mental health and finances are hand in hand, right? A lot of the times, if we are not taking care of ourselves financially, our mental state will dwindle. If we're not mentally sound, our financial state can dwindle, right? We can go into depression, we can go into worry and not be able to really perform like we should on our jobs. And we actually work with some corporations as well to make sure that when single parents as a whole are showing up at work, are they feeling supported? Are they feeling taken care of? Because their needs could be different. If their child has an activity or something going on at school and they can't ever go, there's no grace for them, then that means that child is literally sitting there alone, right? There's no one in the audience. And that is just devastating for some children. So we're not only dealing with the mother having a mental state that's unstable, but you can also be bringing things into the child where they feel as though, they have to compensate what they need or what they require from a parent because mom is doing it all by herself. Right. So, now you're dealing with two individuals or three, depending upon how many children she has, to where she is not able, where she's now, backpedaling, trying to make ends meet and also trying to meet needs mentally for herself and for her children. And so we do a lot of things around wellness and fitness with Single Moms Planet. And the financial space is a beautiful space for the single mother to learn and grow. Women in general, we don't turn anyone away when we do our programming. We have had couples come to our programming where maybe the woman used to be a single mom. We've also had couples come to our programming where maybe they were raised by a single mother, right? Or an individual was raised by a single mother and there's just certain tools that they didn't have in the financial space. So we really want to make sure that when you build a mother in her economic space, right, making sure she can balance her checkbook, making sure she has life insurance, making sure her children have life insurance, making sure she has a will and trust, right? What if something happens to her? Just her knowing that that's there. Does the child know where that is? In the house, or is it locked in a safe somewhere? All these things that sometimes it's can be a hard conversation to have. We're dealing with life and death, but that's what life is. Like without life, there's no death. Without death, there's no life. So we have to be able to have these straight conversations, especially when we're dealing with sensitive topics like, moms and children who a lot of the times are living in poverty, right? And that's usually because they just don't have the education. Even though you're making the money, doesn't mean you know how to continue to make it cycle in your life, right? How does it cycle in and how does it cycle out? And then how do you generate more of it? And then we don't want the second generation and the third generation to suffer because the education just wasn't there.
So you said earlier about, there's bumps along the way in having a nonprofit, but when you see people you help with the nonprofit succeed, how does that feel?
When we help people succeed that has gone through our curriculum for our nonprofit, it feels amazing. It's what definitely keeps us going and keeps our staff motivated, keeps our volunteers motivated. It is a beautiful thing when we get phone calls from women who say, "Hey, I got that job, and now I've been able to stabilize myself for the last 6 months." Where she maybe wasn't stabilized at all and didn't really know how to make the ends meet because they just weren't, nothing was adding up. We've had women go on and open that business or create, those second streams of income that she's always wanted to because she has structure and she has community Or I have women who we coach all the time who also want to start their own nonprofit organizations and they want to give back into the community because that's where they are within their business realm at the time. And so it's definitely a beautiful thing to see women being able to take care of themselves, you know, mentally, spiritually, physically, financially, and emotionally. And being able to have a safe space to talk about these things is what Single Moms Planet it really, really bring to the table.
What are some of the things you've learned from your kids?
Everything. I learned everything from my children. I would definitely say one of the things that I take with me and I attempt to remember this every day is for my youngest son, who is now 14 years old. And I remember when he was little, he's about 3 years old, and I asked him, why does he believe he came back to Earth? And he said he came back to Earth to have fun. And I was like, you know what? That's a very powerful statement, right? Coming back here to have a good time. And his personality is all about having fun. Like if he can get to the fun, he's like, let's do that first, right? And I love that about him. And I would say that with my eldest child, I definitely have learned how to listen, right? How to allow the space for him to grow and become a man, and then also how to also know that I don't have all the answers, right? I'm very humble in the space of mothering, right? I have not done mothering before. Yes, I'm a woman, but I'm also collectively in this cycle of life with them. You know, what do you need? What I check in. Hey, you know, is there anything that mom's doing that you don't like? Is there anything you wish I would do more of? Is there a way I can show up for you better? Is there something that you like to see in our relationship that has not transpired yet? Right. And how can we go about building that? Is there anything that I've done that has hurt you or that has hurt your feelings in the last couple of days or weeks? Let's talk about it. Right. So I ask those questions because I want them to know, like, hey, and I say, I'm not perfect. You know, I don't have all the answers, but I do know that I'm here to guide you. I'm here to represent and be here for you in every way that I can and show up for you. And that's how I communicate with my children, right? I check in with them with that like every 2 weeks. And I have that conversation with them individually. I separate them and have certain conversations. I make sure that I do my best not to bring levels of like just unnecessarily, you know, raising my voice or hostility. I want them to feel like they're in a safe environment, but I want them to also know there's correction in the environment, right? I'm your mother. We can be friendly, but I'm not showing up as your friend, right? Don't play with me and let's take these things seriously, but we can also have fun and play, right? So is I have two boys. So I have a toughness that happens at times that needs to happen. But then there's also I want them to see the softer side of just, the femininity of who I am as their mother and as a woman. And then I lean on their dad a lot. So a lot of the times I don't try to figure everything out when it comes to boys. I'm like, hey, dad, what's going on here? And maybe he'll communicate with me and say, hey, this is what's happening. Or he's like, you know what? Let me handle it. I'll talk to them or I'll come by because we have he now that they're older too, my boys are 80% with their dad now. I have a 17 and a 14-year-old. They're the 17 will be 18 this year,
Oh,
so
wow.
so they're more so young men, and almost the eldest is almost legally an adult, right? So he'll be going off to college next year. So I do lean on their father a lot. He's a great dad, great guy. And so but I still bring, what I believe that they need and require from me as a mom.
What do you do to help your own mental health?
My own mental health. Wow. When it comes to me with mental health, I almost really attempt to check in not just with myself, but with other people who know me really well, which would be like my mom, the co-founder of Single Moms Planet, who I've known for over 20 years. She's like, a sister to me. And I do a lot of checking in. So I was raised as an only child, right? So my perspective could in my opinion at times be so self-absorbed that I do like to check in to see how am I landing, not even for myself, but how am I landing on other people. And so I'll do that a lot. Like, hey, let's go. Definitely the spa, definitely the manicures and the pedicures and things like that. But I had to look a little bit deeper as I got older, which is like, what actually stimulates me? Like what do I love? So one of the things that I love learning new things. And so I'll always make time to listen to an ebook. You know, I'll make time to take a walk with my dog. I'll make time to go on vacations. And I'll vacation with others and I'll also vacation alone. I like having alone time. It rejuvenates me. I like time of quiet, right? So there's moments where I just like, I don't want stimulation. I don't want TV. I don't want activity around me. I just want silence, right? And I love nature. That's one of the things that I've definitely been getting more into lately. Like I want to do some fishing trips this year. I want to go to the snow. I love trees. Like I just love just the simplicity of nature. I'll go to the beach. I'm in California. I've been doing that more recently. And so just tapping into not the aesthetic of self-care, but what does it really mean to me? How do I know that my soul is being replenished and recharged? Yeah.
So, where do you want to see your mission in the next 3 to 5 years?
In the next 3 to 5 years with Single Moms Planet, I would love for us to be on an annual basis serving curriculum based content to 10,000 women consistently. And doing that with financial partners like different banking institutions, tax support institutions, institutions that are also dealing and helping us with mental health and mental wellness. And then also, I just love things that are like activities with the children, team building with the children, getting the children and the mother active, right? So that's why when we do something with the mother and the child, it's usually something that we're doing that bonds them together. No cell phones, right? Let's get off the internet. Let's go outside. Let's play, let's laugh, let's challenge ourselves with our children around us. Let's try something new and different. Maybe they'll show us a way, right? So I really see us, continuing to serve women nationally across the US, and then also branching out to have other forms of ways that we can interact with women that are global as well.
So, how can people reach out and learn more?
So you can reach out to Single Moms Planet through our website. We're at singlemomsplanet.org. And we're also on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok and Twitter through at Single Moms Planet. So we made it pretty simple and easy. You can also email us at support@singlemomsplanet.org as well. And then you can find me. I'm Neferteri Plessy. I'm online, and I really would look forward to meeting you. Connect with us. We have a private community inside of Facebook through a Facebook community, which is Single Moms Planet. So you can tap in there with us, give us your thoughts, your opinion. We're here to help and support. We have hotline coaching as well for any mom that is looking to do something in an executive space or looking to expand her company or her business. We do complimentary coaching. We have different programming that the mothers can apply for through our grant-based process. And so, definitely stay in touch with us. We're growing. And we look forward to connecting with more mothers and families and also donors in the future.